I split up with my ex like maybe a month. Must have been, yeah, in September. And then I was like, oh, I want to go do something for myself. Like I want to go like challenge myself and like do something I normally wouldn't do. So that's why I booked that race. I just thought let's like try something different and just get out there and have a go.
Wasn't King of the
Uh,
Hill different enough?
yeah, I know. Yeah, it's probably like should have just. But I didn't know how big King of the Hill was going to be. Like in terms of how I didn't know how far I was going to go there.
Were you expecting to go as far as you did? Because I mean, you came sixth. It's pretty big achievement.
Yeah, I don't, I don't know. I don't really go in with like any expectations. Um, honestly, even climbing the first hill, I think I said it to you after the race, but climbing the first hill at King of the Hill, I thought for sure I was like, I might be able to get one more of these.
It's isn't it interesting?
Nah, it's crazy.
It's so interesting, man. How like like I had the same thing. Like I did one lap before everyone started, and when I finished it, I was like, "There's just no way this goes for more than 40 hours. There's no way." And like I feel like I had a pretty good base. Like I was running at the time, I was pretty fit. Like I've had endurance challenges, and I was really trying to put myself in their scene. And I was like 40 to 50 hours tops. And the fact that it went for 76, like it's fucking wild.
Yeah, it's funny because like I think people instantly want to compare King of the Hill to a backyard ultra.
Yeah, 100%. They're like, oh, it's
As
half
soon-
the distance.
Yeah, and I think if you go every hour on the hour, it's a backyard ultra, but it's not. It's just not the same thing. It's a different sport completely. Um, but it doesn't mean it's easier. It's just different. Like
Yeah.
I was surprised that it went that long after doing the first hill. Um, but it was funny. I think once you got into a bit of a rhythm, it did feel like you could keep going. Like for me to go, I think I went to 34 hours. There was like some sense of like rhythm because you got used to like I think the big thing was like the hill was so difficult, but you got so much time back at the tent.
Mm.
You could sort of recoup and go, okay, even if it takes me 10 minutes of pain to get up the hill, I still get X amount of time back at the tent where I can sort of mentally recover.
How much time were you getting at the tent?
Oh, I was getting heaps, man. I was like, I think I won most of the laps when I was there.
What time though? Like
But,
40
oh,
minutes?
I think I was getting about 30 minutes
Oh,
at the tent.
yeah. See, this is why I'm glad we raised it a K because that's just too quick.
Yeah, because I would run the whole back section in the straight every time, and I was like started sending them probably like contributed to my downfall, but I just felt good and like that back section. Like I know it's not flat by any means, but in my mind I was like, get back to the tent, just more time to chill out.
Have you thought about, because like you're obviously a pretty jack dude on the hill. So have you thought about dropping size so you're better at running? Like I've always wonder with you, like, surely that's a consideration. Because if you dropped like your biggest downfall is you're jacked. Like honestly, it's obviously it looks great, but do you ever consider just dropping the weight and turning full blown ultra greyhound?
Yeah, it's pretty funny. It's funny that you say that because Peru said that to me last year. He's like, he sort of said it in a way, I don't know if he meant it like this, but he said it in a way that was like, when I heard it, it felt like I was being a bitch for not going all in.
Oh man, I have the same feeling. Like when because he went all in, man. Like
Yeah, yeah,
he's lost it all. What did he say to
yeah.
you?
He just sort of said, have you ever considered like really having a go at it? Or something like that. And in my mind, I was like, fuck. Yeah, he just like called me out. Like, and it's funny, man, because when I first started PTing, I was like 21. I was getting into ultra running at the time, but I was also like a bit of a gym bro. So like smashing like bro split, push pull, you know,
Yeah.
that sort of stuff. And I remember thinking, if I go all in on the running, I'm not going to be the best runner. So why would anyone come and train with me when I'm not the best runner? And then I didn't want to go all in on the bro split because I'm not the biggest guy in the gym either. Like, you know, you go to a commercial gym, there's fucking massive dudes there. So
Mm.
in my mind, I was like, I'm gonna sit in the middle because there's no one that can do like 100K runs, but then also bench like 120. So I was like, if I just sit in this little like middle pocket, I'm not competing with anyone. If
I
that
get
sort of
that.
makes sense.
Yeah, I get that. Well, I mean, I definitely get that because that's I've a battle with that same thing. Because, but then there also surely you get curious, like especially when you're in those events, man. Like surely there's a small part of you that's like, I'm at a massive disadvantage here, and I'd love to see what I could do without the fucking 20 kg weighted vest that I'm wearing.
Yeah, and I think that probably just plays into maybe like a bit of a get out of jail card for me, where it's like, oh, he only went 35 hours, but it's like that's a great effort for someone that's that big.
Mm,
So it,
I
it
get
sort
that.
of it sort of gives me like which it's funny. So I haven't touched an upper body weight for like 6 weeks now. So King of the Hill, I might be coming in a little bit lighter. So Peru
Yeah,
might have got
right.
his wish. So um, yeah, and it just and like to be honest, it sort of happened at a time where I just sort of have fallen out of love with just like upper body training at the gym. I just can't really be bothered at the moment, and I've really been enjoying running, like even more than normal. So I am definitely getting leaner. So I'll be leaner at King of the Hill this year.
How much weight do you reckon you'll be down for compared to last year?
Um, I reckon a few kilos. It won't be crazy because like I think my diet just stays the same. So I'll probably still be big, but it won't be as top heavy.
Yeah, just giant calves. I feel like for anyone listening, like they don't realize that you've got calves the size of fucking tree trunks. But I literally, man, I was on the day for the King of the Hill. People would be like, oh, "Have you seen Liam's calves? Like like calves got a name for themselves at King of the Hill." Peru still comments on it.
Yeah, it's one of those things. I think people just yeah, I think it's funny. I think it's just one of those like funny things that people get like drawn to and just yeah, just make a comment. Like I get it all the time, man. It's
Well,
pretty funny.
it stands out, man. Like, because of what you're saying, though, like when you're doing endurance training, like endurance events, and you coming in jacked, there is this level of like awe that you have for those people because you're like, how are they doing it and are so jacked? I struggle to get, bigger just on its own, let alone like doing all of these trails and stuff. So you definitely gravitate towards it.
Yeah, I think it's interesting. I think but yeah, I think I've started to get to a point where like it was funny. The whole reason I was doing that because I was worried about what people thought. Like I was worried about the other guys in the gym being like, "Hey, you're not even that big to be a PT." But it's like, "Oh, I run ultra marathons." It's like, "Oh, it's okay. He's allowed to not be that big."
Mm,
And then you get to the ultra marathon course and it's like, "Hey, you're too big." But it's also like, "Oh, I also have to be a PT." So it's just that's the only reason I'm doing it. But now
yeah.
I've sort of fallen out of the point where I don't really I'm starting to not really give a shit what people think anymore. So I'm like, I'm just gonna go all in and have a go at the running and um yeah, like if I don't look like the like standard sort of like PT that's like jacked and shredded sort of thing, like who gives a fuck? Like
Yeah, you're doing online coaching now anyway. They
yeah,
can.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah. Just Photoshop everything.
Yeah, just add biceps on. You're all good.
Yeah. But yeah.
How did you find in terms of King of the Hill? Like you said, the first lap was hard, but how did you go mentally navigating it all?
Um it's funny. I think I was listening to a few podcasts in the lead into this. I was listening to um Alex Cleary. He spoke to I think it's Brandon Lee. They call him the Crow, and he's like a really good backyard ultra runner. I think he went 50 hours or over 50 hours at Dead Cow Gully. Um, and he got the assist this year at MVP. And he sort of said he was speaking about the feeling of in a last man standing where you just want to give it everything you've got. And I think that's my sort of approach is like, I'll just go until I can't go anymore. I feel like I've never left the backyard because I've done like two other backyards in the King of the Hill. I feel like I never leave anything in the tank. I don't think my mind ever gets the better of me. I sort of just go into it thinking I'll just keep pushing until I literally just can't walk anymore. Because even the last lap, like on the 35th lap, I got to the top of the hill and my quads were just so smashed. It took me like 40 minutes to even just come off the top of that hill. So like I essentially just got timed out on the course.
You don't feel like you don't have those points though where you just want to quit, or are you just more, you just navigate them?
Yeah, I don't think I want to quit. I don't want to quit. I just want to keep going until I can't anymore. It doesn't enter my mind right. I don't. I think once you get that deep into a race, I sort of have that feeling like um, there's like that quote where they say like you haven't come this far to just come this far or whatever they say. Oh, you haven't come this far to only go this far or whatever.
Mm.
Um, once you've already done like 30 laps, it's like may as well just keep going down. Like, what's the point of just like packing it up? Just go until your legs just give up. I don't know.
I get
But
that.
it doesn't feel. It's just that type two fun. I've heard you speak about that a few times.
Yeah, what draws you to do it all? Do you reckon? I
Um,
mean, can you pinpoint it? It's sometimes hard, but
yeah, I think no, it's because I was thinking about this like leading into having like this chat with you. Um, Back in COVID when I sort of got into ultra running, I listened to like Goggins like so many other people did, and I think you either hear that Goggins thing and it G's you up, or you hear it and it just does nothing for you. Like I think it's really that simple. Some people love it, and some people just like don't understand. And I was just someone that when I heard it, I was like, I want to just do challenges now. I just want to see what I can do. I just want to like try different stuff. And yeah, it's just like so every few months I'll just find something that I think's interesting and just have a go.
does it affect you when you don't do one? Like when you don't have a challenge? Like how does that show up for you?
It's funny, I think so I haven't done a race since January this year, so it's coming on like 8 months now. But honestly really do think training every day consistently is harder than challenges.
How so?
I just think because if you said to me this weekend I'm gonna run like this weekend for example, I could go and run 100 miles this weekend. Like I know I could do it. I could just set off Saturday morning at 4 a.m. and just run until I hit 100 miles. And I'll make a post on Sunday night, and everyone would get around me. I'd get all the praise on Instagram, and but to go out Sunday morning and just do your normal 20K run, you get 3 kudos on Strava. Like it means nothing. I find that is sometimes more difficult than challenges because the challenge, you're going to get the reward at the end. You're going to get all the praise at the end. So that can like motivate you through challenges. But
Yeah,
just to
you've
go
got
out
that.
on a cold Tuesday night when no one cares to do your 12K run, that's just so hard to do just all the time and like never miss it.
Yeah, it's a good point. It is a good point. I mean, you definitely get that positive reinforcement when you do a challenge, and there's 100%. It is a cool thing when you've like had that personal achievement, and then you get that like external gratification on top of that personal achievement. So yeah, it's very reinforcing. Where I definitely can see how you don't get reinforced on the day to day. It just becomes more habitual, though, doesn't it? Like it's just what you do.
Yeah, I think, yeah, I just think like I know like a guy and he'll occasionally just go and do like a massive run. It'll just be like one run that might be like, let's say like 40 or 50 Ks and sometimes even 100. But his training is not that consistent in the lead up. And then it's like he sort of just pulls out these one big effort. But to me, I don't find that impressive. I don't know, just for me, because I think the difficulties in if I said to you over the next 100 days, I want you to get 100 runs in, and I want you to do 12K minimum a day for the next 100 days, as opposed to just grit your teeth for one day and just push through as long as you can.
Yeah, yeah, I get that. That makes sense. Since you did the Goggins thing, what's the cookie jar for you? What do
Like
you
in
go?
terms
Where
of
do you
what,
go? No, like what's do you have a mantra, or do you have like a dark thought that kind of like fuels some of your challenges?
hmm, I think I'm just stubborn. I think I'm just stubborn. Like, I don't think there's something I go back to. I don't think every time there's like one thing that I tell myself. Um, there might be different things in the lead up to an event, but I don't think so. I don't think I have something that I just go back to. Like, you hear some people have like, really hectic pasts, or, they're trying to prove something to someone that they, maybe didn't believe in them or something like that. I don't really have that. I just have, I think, just a natural sort of stubbornness that if I say I'm going to do 100, I'm going to do 100. And even, I mean, every backyard you don't win is a DNF technically. But I've never quit because I couldn't go any further. It's always just been my body first.
Yeah, interesting. It's I always find it quite fascinating when people don't have the dark ones, because I'm definitely the dark guy. Like,
Yeah, yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
like I'm contemplating my whole family getting, serial killer murdered if I don't make it home from the run or something. Like it, I
Oh, so
definitely,
yeah, yeah.
I'm full dark, full dark.
Yeah, so you have to like sort of, do you sort of just create scenarios that aren't even
Horrible
real to try and
scenarios.
fire you up?
Yeah, horrible scenarios. Like I've done ones
Yeah.
before where I'm like, if I get off this bike, my fucking mum gets murdered. Like,
Yeah, that's
yeah,
crazy.
that's why
Yeah, that's wild.
when when people say to me like, oh, I don't really have. I actually spoke to someone a while ago who said the same thing. Like, I don't really. Actually, it's quite consistent between people who are doing challenges. I'm actually noticing a lot of people just. It's the same kind of thing in terms of like they're stubborn. They're so consistent, and I think that's where people maybe get wrong about discipline. Is like it's like you're saying, like you show up every single day over years and years and years, that when you go and do this race, it just kind of happens and you go until you can't do it anymore. And the thoughts of quitting, they start to go down. The need to have dark thoughts, they definitely go away. I actually made a post about it after the dips, because when I did the dips, I didn't have dark thoughts. And I
Yeah.
think that is a thing that, like, as you get better, you need it less, if that makes sense.
Yeah, for sure. I think I've started to fall like I can remember clearly my first 100K race that I did. I did no trails in the lead up. Like it was just a surf coast 100K, which is pretty flat. It's like 2,200 meters of elevation. But like I reckon maybe my longest run before that was like 40Ks or something in the lead up. Um and that to me felt like that, like, oh, like that Gulkins, like go to a dark place and push through and like really like grit your teeth and stuff like that. But since then I've sort of fallen into like the performance side, where I think I enjoy like executing a plan on the day. And like if you watch the people like um I think there's like different performers, and I'm sure they're fueled by different stuff, but like if you watch like Ross Edgley and stuff, it seems like he's executing a plan.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. He's like the smiling assassin, isn't he? He's just
Yeah, yeah,
constant positivity.
yeah. And I think like even looking at Peru, the way he raced last year, I know he spoke about Sisu, but I
Yeah.
think but he executed the plan on the day. Like he was so methodical. Like even down to the clothes that he wore and the food that he had like prepped every time. It just looked like, and the way he was training at the pyramid, I think he was so methodical. And I sort of admire that, because it's like, it wasn't about, obviously he did grit his teeth to push through, but he'd gotten his body to a point that he could just execute 75 hours on a hill. And it's like so impressive.
Yeah, it's definitely more impressive. You appreciate that stuff more, I think, as you start training and you start realizing that, like, what goes into being that calm and what goes into just having that high level of performance. Like it's, yeah, people pigeonhole people and be like, oh, he's just super tough, and he's definitely tough. Don't get me wrong, Peru's
Yeah, of
fucking
course.
tough as
Yeah.
nails, but he's also the robot of like a human. Like he's so disciplined, man. Even when I knew him back in fitness first, and he was always more disciplined than like us in everything, even because we worked a sales job together. And like that guy would go out, man, and like he would just hit the town to try and get leads. And like we'd go out and try and get leads. It's like pre old fitness first days. and I'd come back with like 1 or 2 leads, and he'd be down there longer than me. He'd go there, like he just followed the plan, exactly what you're saying. And like it's evident in like his running that he's just taken that approach across everything.
Yeah, because I think I'm sort of, I wouldn't say obsessed, but I love checking like the high performers and seeing what they're doing. And he's just like, he never misses a beat. Like he doesn't miss a beat.
No.
Like the way he got ready for that pyramid race and wiped like 16 minutes off, just gone on the weekend. But yeah, he's even down to stuff like you see him doing like dumbbell marching, and like he does like his strides, and he's getting his barefoot technique on the grass, and it's like, damn, this guy's like, I can't be bothered doing like barefoot running on the grass, like
Nah.
being just so tedious, but he just loves it, and it's like, it's why he's so good.
Yeah, I mean, he's trained a few people I know, and I did a stint with him for a while, and like he'd send me these exercises, and I'd be like, I can see that these are beneficial, but fuck, they're lame. Like, I do not want to go do this in a commercial gym, man. Like doing like heels raised with like these weird squats and these like weird marches in the gym. Like but he just gets it done. It's impressive.
Yeah, he's a beast.
How do you feel about like this increase of I don't know what we're going to call it, maybe like interest in challenges? Like there's been so many more people getting after challenges recently. What do you think about it all?
I think it's awesome. I think it's good that people are, I think like, if we just look at Australia as a whole, there's definitely been a massive drop in like drinking culture, sort of drug and party culture. And there's been a big increase in whether it be like run clubs and stuff like that. And then moving into challenges. Obviously, as people start getting more consistent, they start thinking about things like 100Ks or 100 miles and 2-day runs and things like that. So I think it's awesome that people are out there sort of pushing themselves and seeking out new challenges. And then people just coming up with their own challenges, like Matt, who did the pull-up in a month, the most pull-ups in a month. Just inventing new challenges that just seems like absurd. So yeah, I think it's so cool that people just keep pushing the limits.
I reckon it's definitely to do with Goggins, man. Like I'm adamant that 95% of this, maybe not the run clubs and stuff, but I genuinely believe that 2018 Can't Hurt Me has been the fucking pinnacle of the increase of challenges.
Oh, for sure. I think for sure. And I think I felt like, yeah, I don't want to say like early adopter. That sounds so cringe. But I just heard it really, I heard it really quick. I got it recommended to me really fast.
Yeah.
And I was pretty quick between hearing it and just doing my first thing. But I think, for sure, I think the Goggins is just so impressive. When you listen to it, like I said before, I think when you hear Goggins speak and you listen to a whole Goggins podcast or an audiobook, if you got through on whole Goggins audiobook, you must be someone who is interested by it.
Yeah, 100%.
And I think if you finish a Goggins audiobook, there's a big chance you're going to want to have a go at something like that.
Isn't it interesting though? Because you read Ross Edgley's book Art of Resilience, didn't you?
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Isn't it so interesting seeing like Goggins' book and then listening to that and like how different they approach it? It's pretty much exactly what I was saying about like I've got like I had like those dark thoughts, and then you're talking about like Ross Edgley methodical. Like Ross Edgley, the way he approaches challenges and like the formula in which he does it, and he's like, it's so much better, and it's so much like more long lasting. Like when you do the Goggins approach or like the fucking I need to dig deep, you definitely burn the candle at both ends, and it starts to bite in the ass.
Yeah, I think, and that's where like I think when I first listened to Goggins, it definitely lit a fire inside of me where I was like, I was so interested by it. I was like, I want to challenge myself like that. And then as you get into the sport and then you go on YouTube and you're watching other people who do it, you get exposed to like, well, you don't have to be this like savage guy to do this. You can just have fun and do it. Like you listen to Courtney DeWalter and it's like, she's the like happiest, most chilled out person ever, and like wins Badwater and wins Moab and stuff like that. And it's like she's doing it with a smile on her face just because she likes running.
Yeah.
And you realize you don't have to do it like a certain way.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, when you see, I saw, did you watch the 1,000 mile swim thing that Ross Edgley did?
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah, it's
sorry, was
crazy.
it no,
500K. The Yukon
yeah,
one?
the longest, yeah, the longest stage swim one that he did recently. Like
Yeah, yeah.
that, I watched that YouTube video, and like this guy's just like the happiest guy, and his face is all blown up, and he's still sitting there like, oh, thank you, please, oh, thank you so much. Oh, it's just, it's so sick to watch.
I think it just gives you a perspective of like, there isn't one way to be out on the course and there isn't one way to train.
Yes, absolutely. You have to find what works for you, like your own methodology when you are doing it. And I think like there's nothing wrong with utilizing like, I guess, techniques and little tricks, if you want to call them that, where you can kind of like get yourself out of that mental rut. Because I think sometimes when you are deep in a challenge, you can get yourself stuck in this like shit spot. And if you have tools and things that you can do to like lean on, whether that be me, like picturing my mum get fucking hit by a car or something, or it's just something like forcing a smile or like laughing or something, like those are good tools to have.
Yeah, I think it's just like tools in the tool belt. And I think the more exposure, and that's why I listen to so many podcasts when I run, like, because I feel like you're just getting exposure and you might listen to a podcast and 50 minutes of it you don't agree with. And then you might hear like the last 5 minutes and be like, oh, that was so worth it just for that 5 minutes because I could use that in this scenario. And sometimes you might not even know when you're going to use it. You might be 27 hours into King of the Hill and then you'll remember something that, Peru or Goggins or Courtney Dauwalter or Hormozy said that it just like sparks something in you that like might motivate you for the next lap.
Yeah, do you know what my favorite one is? I still think about it all the time for challenges. Is Ross Edgley's one on cruise or kill? Do you remember that?
Yeah, yeah.
And it's just like such a cool concept. It's like there's times where you want to go and bring out that like inner demon, like real fucking dark energy, and then there's most of the time you just want to run on cruise. And I always like that because when I'm in that dark energy spot, I'm like, oh, I need to bring it back to center. And then most of the time you're in center or like at this chilled spot where you spend 95% of your time, you're just trying not to think of anything. You're really just trying to like get lost in the moment, I reckon.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. I think when you're out there, and especially like you've done a lot of these like long challenges, like you've done not so much running, but other challenges that have gone for 20. What's like the longest challenge you've done hour wise?
Uh, I mean, technically the non-fitness one was the 100 hours awake, but
Yeah,
that's
that's
not,
brutal. That's crazy. Yeah, that's so
yeah,
crazy.
that's not really comparable because it's more, that was just a game of distraction. Like it was very
Yeah,
different, but I
yeah,
think the carpool would probably be my longest. I haven't done
yeah, true.
anything, but I'm really keen. I don't know about you, but like there's just this part of me that wants to know how far I can go from like an hour's perspective. Like, because these backyard ultras, man, they're in fucking exciting to watch. Like, I just see them and I just want to see how far I can go. Maybe not with running necessary, but like, there's something to this. Like, can you go 100 hours with little bits of sleep? You know, it's cool.
Why would you do a backyard? I know you obviously couldn't do King of the Hill just because you got so much to do on the
Man,
day. But
so gutted I can't do King of the Hill though. Like, I've played with this idea of like maybe I do King of the Hill after King of the Hill, like a
yeah,
week or two later, just to see how I'd go. But yeah, I think I don't know. Like for me personally, like I don't like just straight running. I never have. But there is a part of me that's curious, and I think the cool thing about running, opposed to I'd say 95% of challenges, is that you get to actually experience adventure. And I think that realistically, if you want to do a challenge where you get to experience adventure, you need a challenge where you move from point A to point B. What are your fucking options realistically? Like running, swimming, cycling. If you don't like those three, what do you do? And that's, I guess, the part I battle with is I want adventure, but I don't want to do running, swimming, or cycling. So what do I do? Fucking burpee broad jump to like Thailand or something?
Yeah, I don't know. I guess yeah, it is true. Like it's you sort of do come down to those three, and then anything out of that outside of that is so niche. Like I mean, Bo Miles has done like kayaking and stuff. I think he's a pretty
Yeah.
interesting guy.
Yeah, there's some cool ones. There are some cool ones. Like I've seen some cool ones come up recently. Like I mean that was one of the attractions to dragging the car because I was like, at least you can go from point A to point B a little bit. Like at least you get a bit of movement in there.
Didn't you try something with a kayak or something one day?
Yeah, I failed at it. Yeah, I made 15 hours. I like to blame it on the weather, but the reality is I went outside in like a fucking fishing kayak with no all my supplies, and then I got dunked by a wave, and the wave took me under
Oh,
the water, and I lost all my stuff, and I was just out there. I just caved. I just caved.
whereabouts did you head out from? And what was the plan?
The plan was there was no plan, man. I just was like I just was like I'm gonna get a kayak and I'm gonna go in the water and I'm just gonna stay out there until I can't come back anymore. And I thought I'd go 24 hours easily. Like I was pretty excited, not excited. Wow. I was looking forward to the experience of going overnight on a kayak. But honestly, the fear of being in the water with no supplies, it just like shook me. And
Yeah,
as it was starting to get dark, I just kind of caved mentally. It was the water's scary. The water is a scary place, I reckon.
yeah. I can psych myself out in a swimming pool. Like I can start picturing a shark down the other end of the swimming pool. So I don't know how I'd go doing that.
Nah, no way. It's the worst. I asked this question, which I'll ask you shortly, which is like at the end, what's one challenge you'd love to see someone else do but never do yourself? Every time I ask that, most people just be like, yeah, swimming. It's all swimming. It's swimming is the worst challenge. Actually, since I've asked it, what is one challenge you'd love to see someone else do but you'd never do yourself? Let's go.
Yeah, like it's just so boring. I think swimming is like horrible. I just
Ah,
think
you
swimming's
cop
horrible.
out. You stole it.
Now, what else? What else would there even be? Like, because my mind's just gone to like biking, running, swimming. Swimming's my worst out of that. That's the reason I haven't done. Like, I'd love to do an Ironman. I can't even fathom doing 3Ks. So then, how Ross does like 500Ks is just so absurd. It's
It's
so
absurd.
bizarre. It's so bizarre.
I think out
Um,
of everyone that I've ever taken influence from, he's probably still my favorite. Just
yeah,
because his approach, also I think he's quite like he's huge for fucking one. Obviously, the guy's gas to the shit house, but he's massive dude doing crazy endurance stuff, and it's pretty sick to see.
I think the other one. Just thinking about that, if I was to go like running, hardest geezer running through Africa is so crazy. That's so insane. Like just like I didn't do Dedicat Gully this year because of logistics. So to think how he managed to get through like the whole continent, like, you know, bottom to top, is just so crazy to me. Like
Yeah,
that would have must have
crazy.
been such a headache to do. That would have been. I would hate that. I would hate that.
Imagine putting that together, man. Like,
Nah, it's
imagine
so crazy.
trying to organize that and then the fear, like, he got kidnapped. Like, it's
Nah,
just
it's so crazy.
wild.
Yeah, that's probably one of the ones I would never do. I'm so glad he did it, so I could listen to it, but I would never do that. That's
Has he
so
got a book
crazy.
or anything?
Yeah, he's got a book. Yeah, it's
Have you
actually really
listened to it?
good. Yeah, I've listened to it. Yeah, it's really
Ah,
good.
that's
Yeah,
gone on the list.
yeah,
I
it's
reckon
really
that'd
good.
be good. Does he
And
read
because
it?
he's so chill. Nah, I don't read. Please, come on.
No, 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 no. I mean, like, sorry. Yeah, I was just assuming audiobook. Don't worry. I already pigeonholed you as an audiobook guy. I meant, did he actually physically read the book when you listen to it? Because,
Yeah, it was him. It was him.
oh yeah. See,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's good as yeah.
I love that. I love when especially because he's such like a main character kind of guy. You
Yeah,
want to listen
yeah.
to his voice.
Yeah, you wouldn't want some like old guy like trying to tell the story, you know. Sometimes those audiobooks when like you're so excited to listen to it and then the person that's reading it is like doesn't match the vibe of the book at all. That
Yeah.
just sends me.
Yeah, I
I
get
can't
that. I
listen to
mean,
it.
even Goggins one, I was like, at first, I think if I listen to it now, because back then I didn't even know really who Goggins was when I listened to it, so it didn't really matter as much. But if you hear that guy's voice, man, now you're like, who the fuck is this guy reading it?
Yeah. And that's like, it's funny. Like, yeah, I've listened to every like Goggins. There was a time there was a crazy time when I first got into running. I reckon I listened to the Goggins podcast like 150 times. Like it's crazy. I could probably word for word it. And Rogan, the very first thing he says on the podcast is like, "Why the hell didn't you read it, man?" He's like, "Why'd you get this guy coming and reading?" He's like, "I wanted to hear your voice." And Goggins was like, "Oh well, right." Explains why, but
What was the
um,
reason?
he said they wanted to like. He's like, "Oh, he had a great reading voice," and he helped him put the book together apparently. And he was
Yeah.
like, um, and then he said he was going to interview him in between the book, in between the chapters. Because you know how they do that little podcast
Oh,
thing where
and
they,
that was the best.
yeah, it's
Oh,
so good. Yeah, it's such a good listen. Um, but that guy's voice sort of reminded me of like a Rich Roll, so I didn't mind because I like Rich Roll podcasts. So
nice. Oh man, we might have to wrap there. I've actually got another meeting, so I have to pause.
nah, that's all good. Nah, easy. Because
Thanks for coming on though, man.
nah, thanks for having me, man.